remember last week when we read the Gruffalo?
Yeah.
Who can raise their hand and tell me what their favorite part was from the Gruffalo? Luke.
The parts of its body.
When they were describing the parts of the Gruffalo's body, what parts do you remember?
The whole body of its back and its right here.
The purple prickles all down its back?
Yeah, and the teeth right there.
Yeah.
And the horns
Mm-hmm.
up to the top.
Yeah.
And the poisonous nose right there.
And the poisonous wart at the end of his nose.
And on his knees.
Yeah, he had knobbly knees.
And he has a child too.
Yep, and this is the child, the Gruffalo's child. So today we're going to read the sequel called The Gruffalo's Child. Remember, if we have something to say, we need to
Raise our hand.
So today we're going to read The Gruffalo's Child, and while we're reading it, I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you to be thinking about what order the story is happening in, because when we read books, they happen in a certain order. So that's what I want you to be paying attention to, okay? The Gruffalo's Child by Julia Donaldson and illustrated by Axel Scheffler. The Gruffalo said that no Gruffalo should ever set foot in the deep dark wood. Why not? Why not? Because if you do, the big bad mouse will be after you. I met him once, said the Gruffalo. I met him a long, long time ago. What does he look like? Tell us, Dad. Is he terribly big and terribly bad? I can't quite remember, the Gruffalo said. Then he thought for a minute, and he scratched his head. The big bad mouse is terribly strong, and his scaly tail is terribly long. His eyes are like pools of terrible fire, and his terrible whiskers are tougher than wire. Do you remember the mouse from the book before?
It was just a mouse.
Is this true? Does he have eyes that are like pools of terrible fire?
No.
No. Interesting.
And he doesn't have a scaly tail.
No, he doesn't. One snowy night, when the Gruffalo snored, the Gruffalo's child was feeling bored. The Gruffalo's child was feeling brave, so he tiptoed out of the Gruffalo cave. The snow fell fast, and the wind flew wild. Into the wood went the Gruffalo's child. Aha! Oh-ho! A trail in the snow. Whose is this trail? Where does it go? A tail poked out of a log pile house. Could this be the tail of the big bad mouse? Raise your hand if you think you know whose tail this is. Yes, Riley. Let's see if it's the snake. Yep, it was. Out slid the creature. His eyes were small, and he didn't have whiskers. No, none at all. You're not the mouse. Not I, said the snake. He's down by the lake, eating Gruffalo cake. The snow fell fast and the wind blew wild. I'm not scared, said the Gruffalo's child. Aha! Oh-ho! Marks in the snow. Whose are these claw marks? Where do they go? Two eyes gleamed out of a treetop house. Could these be the eyes of the big bad mouse? Harper, what do you think it is?
I see him right there. The Gruffalo told his child all the things that the animals have from the last book. Like the owl had like those red eyes, and the snake had a scaly tail, and also all the other things are true too.
That's an excellent observation, Evan. Next time, can you remember to raise your hand? Okay. Down flew the creature, his tail was short, and he didn't have whiskers of any sort. You're not the mouse. To who? Not I. But he's somewhere nearby, eating Gruffalo pie. The snow fell fast and the wind blew wild. I'm not scared, said the Gruffalo's child. Aha! Oh-ho! A track in the snow. Whose is this track? Where does it go? Whiskers at last in an underground house. Could this be the home of the big bad mouse?
And this one has some
So
whiskers.
raise your hand if you can tell me which animal did the Gruffalo's child see first?
Whiskers.
Which one did he see first?
The
Harper?
snake.
The snake. Who did he see second? Grayson. The owl. Who do you think he's gonna see next?
Fox.
Ollie.
Fox.
The fox. Let's see.
His whiskers. This is the one. His whiskers.
Excellent. You see his whiskers here.
And the red eyes. I see.
You do.
And the red skin and the.
Okay. Let's see.
No, that's because he's closing his eyes.
Out slunk the creature. His eyes weren't fiery. His tail wasn't scaly. His whiskers weren't wiry. You're not the mouse. Oh no, not me. He's under a tree, drinking Gruffalo tea.
Gruffalo tea.
It's all a trick, said the Gruffalo's child, as she sat on a stump where the snow lay piled. I don't believe in the big bad mouse. But here comes a little one out of his house.
The big bad mouse.
Not big, not bad, but a mouse at least.
Yes. big
You'll
bad
taste
mouse.
good as a midnight feast.
That's the bad mouse. That's
Do you
him.
see a snowman?
Yeah.
What's his
That's him.
snowman?
A Gruffalo. I know, that's him.
Wait, said the mouse. Before you eat, there's a friend of mine that you ought to meet. If you'll let me hop onto a hazel twig, I'll beckon my friend so bad and big. He's going to beckon someone. He's going to call someone. Who is he going to call, do you think?
The big bad wolf.
Raise your hand. Brenna.
The big bad mouse.
He's going to beckon the big bad mouse.
That's him.
Any other ideas? Any other thoughts?
That's him.
Grayson?
That's the big Gruffalo.
The big Gruffalo, maybe. Did you have one, Veda? Gruffalo too? Okay, let's see.
I know
Let's
it.
find out.
I know it. It's him.
The Gruffalo's child unclenched her fist. The big bad mouse. So he does exist. The mouse hopped into the hazel tree.
The little
He
mouse
beckoned,
is him.
then said, just wait and see.
It's him.
Out came the moon. It was bright and round.
I knew it.
A terrible shadow fell onto the
It's
ground.
I knew it. I knew it.
Who is this creature so big, bad, and strong? His tail and his whiskers are terribly long. His ears are enormous, and over his shoulder he carries a nut as big as a boulder.
It's him. I know. I knew it was the mouse. It's him.
The big bad mouse! Yelled the Gruffalo's child.
It's really him.
The mouse jumped down from the twig and smiled.
It was really him.
Cole, why do you think the mouse was smiling?
Because it was a trick.
Because it was a trick. He tricked him, didn't he?
It was actually him. And he's the
The
big bad
boulder
mouse.
he probably in the center like rolled and had him.
Yeah, it looked bigger, didn't it? Aha! Oh-ho! Prints in the snow. Whose are
It's
these
him.
footprints? Where do they go? The footprints led to the Gruffalo cave, where the Gruffalo's child was a bit less brave. The Gruffalo's child was a bit less bored. And the Gruffalo
There he is.
snored and snored and snored.
There is a mouse.
He's out there with his nut. Okay. Why? The reason I asked you to remember what it is, what order the book happened in, is because you are going to make your own little mini Gruffalo book. And you need to know what order it happened. So you are going to get, where did I put it here? A little book like this. And in it, there are page numbers already there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you're going to get a sheet of paper like this with all of the pictures on it. And you're going to cut those out. And you're going to glue each one onto the page number. But you can't glue them onto whichever page number you want. You have to glue them in the order of the story. So if I have my pictures, I've got the Gruffalo with the owl, I've got the Gruffalo with the snake, the fox, snoring and sleeping at the end, the mouse hopping down from the hazel twig, and the Gruffalo telling the Gruffalo's child about the story. So who remembers what happened first? Grayson. He tells him the story, doesn't he? Not that glue stick. So what I would do is I would take my glue out, put it on the back of my picture.
That's pretty glue.
That's purple. And I would glue it very nice and neat and straight at the bottom of the page. And I'm going to figure out the order of all of these pictures and glue them on. In fact, that might be what I do first, is figure out what order they go in. I've put it at the bottom of my page because at the top, you're going to write what's happening. Okay? And we might put a few of the words up on the board that you might want to write, but maybe don't know how to spell yet. So we had, in the first picture, we had the Gruffalo telling the Gruffalo's child, right? Now, what happened next? Was it the owl, the snake, the fox, the mouse, or was he sleeping? Macy.
The snake.
The snake. So I would glue the snake on my next page, wouldn't I? And then I would write words that I could think of to go with that picture. What happened on the third page? Who did he see after the snake?
Owl.
Harper.
The owl.
The owl. Who did he see after the owl? Brenna.
Fox.
The fox. Who did he see after the fox? Easton?
Mouse.
The mouse. And what happened at the end?
He got spooked. Sleep.
He went to sleep, didn't he? He crawled back in the cave and he went to sleep. So I'm going to put words like Gruffalo and snake and owl and fox and mouse. I'm going to maybe write those up on that board if you need help with spelling them, or you can try sounding them out. And do you know what I'm going to do with this board?
No.
I'm going to turn it around and face the wall. Because I want you to see if you can remember what happened in the story just from your own memory. And I want you to try and get the pictures in the order of how they go in the book. If you're not sure, you can come around and you can look, but try and do it without looking first. Okay? And the last thing that I'm going to tell you that you need to do is you need to put your name on the cover.
Okay.
Okay?
Alright, I'm gonna keep it.
You want your name on here.
And you can decorate the cover.
You can decorate the cover. Once you've got all of your pictures glued in and you've written words for each page, then you can decorate your cover. Are there any more questions? No? Easy peasy? Okay. Who are the helpers today? Brenna. Brenna, and can you pick someone else to pass out the other page? And we are going to need scissors, glue, and pencil. You can head back to your table spots.